What's up guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be unveiling the new wing, and we'll keep working on the 22B widebody kit. Stay tuned. So before we do anything else today, I want to start by unboxing the two parts that we just got. The big one, you might know what it is from the title. The small one, I'm pretty sure I haven't talked about yet. So yeah, I'm going to grab my knife and start cutting boxes. Alright, so this first box is something I found on eBay. It was for a decent price, so that's why I got it. I wasn't really looking for it, but I just came across it and thought it would look really nice inside the car. So hope it's in good conditions. It looked quite alright on the pictures, and I think it costs only like 75 bucks or something. So really not that much. And yeah, let's see. Boom, so those are 2.5 RS's floor mats. As you can see here, it's got the red logo. It's here as well. And they seem in really good shape. Let's see. So I made sure to get the left-hand drive version to fit my car. So as you can see, this is the left floor mat, and it's got this little thing to hold it in place. So that's all great. I actually found some, or saw some from a Japanese car, and of course that didn't fit, but it was in better shape. So yeah, oftentimes people look for stuff like this online. They find something that looks good and they forget it's the wrong side for their car. So yeah, I made sure to double check, and then I got the rear ones as well, which looked actually really good. This one has kind of a little spot here, but I don't think you'd see it in the car anyways. But yeah, that's great. So now on to the more interesting part. And there it is, the 22B adjustable rear wing. So this is a replica, of course. The real ones are pretty much unobtainable and way too expensive. So yeah, that makes it pretty good because it's brand new. So I don't have to mess with any scratches, paint, or anything else. Except that there are definitely a few imperfections, which I'm going to show in a minute. And right off the bat, the quality is pretty good. But they don't send you any bolts, so I don't know how I'm supposed to attach these. Guessing just some standard M6, it looks like, screws. But yeah, I'll figure this out later. But for now, so the quality, as you can tell, it's pretty impressive. No dents, nothing. But what I noticed is I tried to put this middle piece in between here, and it touches on the front quite hard. Like I kind of have to pull the wing apart to even fit it in here, and the rear has a few millimeters gap, so either this is bent or the middle section is not cut straight. Not sure which one it is, but that's gonna need a little bit of adjustment. And on the back, so I got the version with the brake light, but unfortunately they just made the same wing as without the brake light and just cut out and glued this brake light in, which is a bummer. I was hoping for the actual like 22B style cutout here with a different piece coming in, but that's not going to happen. So yeah, this brake light is completely straight, whereas the body or the shape of the wing is bent. So it doesn't quite fit in here really well. So right now I'm thinking I might remove the light and just fill the hole. But other than that, nothing too crazy. Just got a huge cutout underneath. And as you can tell, that's the glue, the white stuff holding the brake light in place. Same on the other side. And which, I don't know, it's kind of weird because they glue it over here and then leave a little bit of a gap here. So if water gets in through the gaps here, I'm not sure how they were hoping it would get out. of the wing. So what I'm gonna do is eventually drill a little hole either down here or here somewhere where the water can flow out of the wing, because I'm pretty sure this thing is gonna have water in it at some point. I've just attached the middle section with 3 bolts, and let me show you what I meant with a few adjustments. So if you look at the holes, I'm not sure if you can tell, but the holes behind the carbon plate don't line up. I could not fit any bolts besides the left one, so those will need some adjustment. And on the other side, it's the same thing. They line up a little bit better, like this I could put 2 of them, but the middle one doesn't line up either, so that's gonna need re-drilling. So I just spent some more time looking at the wing and inspecting it, and I'm going to give my 2 cents about it right now. So here we go. I think it's a little bit disappointing when you have manufacturers literally spending thousands of dollars on making the right molds, picking the right materials, epoxy, resin, all that stuff. And all they mess up is literally just making the holes in the correct location on a plate. So that's definitely a big bummer. And I think it's even a shame to send out a part like this that cannot be assembled right away. So they should have checked that. They should have made sure all the holes line up. They should have sent hardware with it. They should have made sure that the middle section actually fits within the wing just fine. So those are 3 big points which I found really disappointing for the price and the quality. The rest of the quality is good. It's just those things that I find really disappointing about this wing. So for the price, I would not recommend this specific wing, but in my case, that's all I could find. So if you can find another one, maybe go with that. And if you're like me, just order this one, and just know that there will be things to modify and fix. So in my case, it's not going to make a big difference. I don't think you'll even be able to tell afterwards. But definitely a bit bummed about that. But the rest of the wing looks good, as you can see. That's all details. But yeah, we'll keep moving forward and make it work. So yeah, now next step is going to be test fitting this thing on the cars, or the car, just one. But as you can see, one is down here, I need to get it out. The other one's on the lift. And also I want to put the fiberglass trunk on the car first, because the fitment might be a little bit different than the OEM metal one. So yeah, I'm gonna do that, test fit this, and make sure everything else is good. And there's the wing finally on the car. So you probably saw me remove the trunk and put it back on. That's because this one has a different thread size. So I couldn't use the stock bolts and I didn't have any laying around. So yeah, still using the stock hood for now, but it's looking pretty good. It's got a little bit of a gap down here, which with bolts I'm sure it's going to be fine, but it seems like the entire wing is a little bit warped. So not sure if that's a normal thing with fiberglass wings or not, but yeah, it's looking pretty mean. Moving on to the quarter panel, I've already removed the fuel door and all that stuff in there, but the issue I'm running into right now is that I cannot fit the quarter panel in the exact location that it should, because I'm having interferences with the metal, especially up there and all along the door. And on the other hand, I do not want to cut the metal unless I know where the panel will be in the end, because I don't want to cut too much. So I have a bit of a dilemma, and the way I'm going to go about this is I'm going to cut as little as possible of the metal until I can fit the panel all the way where it should, and then I'll trim the rest. So for now, what that means is I'm going to cut the quarter panel way below the line. So I don't know if you can see, but I've drawn a little line here of where my panel ends. And this is approximately where I'm going to cut it. I'm going to leave a good amount to, fix things and glue things later on. So I'm going to do that all around the sides of the panel. So probably here, then I'm going to cut down this edge leaving all of this on the car to work with. So down here, and then down here I'm probably just gonna go straight down because I don't need any of this stuff. Back here, this is all gonna go, and then here I'm just gonna leave as much as possible because there is a little hole for the bumper to attach onto, so I'm gonna leave that on the car. So just gonna go above it, and then probably something like this, and then back up over here. I'm gonna leave all of the top stuff on the car for now because I don't know how far my panel is gonna go. So probably just gonna cut along this line and then back down. So that's the game plan, and of course I don't want to cut too much into the car because I don't know what's behind, so I'm going to be really careful, and that should be all good. So the panel fits a little bit better now, but it's still far from perfect. As you can tell there, there's still a big gap until the edge of the panel, and still a big gap here as well. But by cutting the metal, what it did is it allows me to access the back of it here, which is going to be the mating surface between the white and the metal. So that's great. Now I can see where things need to line up and to be flush. So now I can cut a little bit more down here and figure out this part up here, because now my cut is still kind of far from where it should be. But I'm thinking right now I'm going to cut the white panel along this edge, do the same on the metal, and then keep this part of the white panel, drop this, and then of course keep this part of the metal, and then mate everything along the side here nicely with this panel. So yeah, that's the game plan, and I'm gonna keep cutting and keep working on this. All right, the first quarter panel is officially mounted, and it's holding with the two clicos up there, which are plenty for now, but I'm gonna add a bunch more later on. So just going over the entire thing. So this was the trickiest area here, and this is what I've done. So I've cut my white panel like this, and I've cut the body exactly at the same spot, so that these two panels would sit exactly flush. That allows me to have the exact same panel gap as an OEM Subaru. So I've seen people just stick or glue this thing on top of the body, and they add some thickness because of the material, which then interferes with the door, and I didn't want that, so that's what I've done. And I'll show you later on the body and how I've basically made up for this. And then, so this is how I've trimmed the fiberglass. I haven't done much work in the bottom here because I'm waiting for the side skirt, so that's gonna still move a little bit. In the back, I've trimmed pretty much everything that was in the way, no big deal here. And then over here, this is what I've done. So I've trimmed the fiberglass down here so that I could stick it up onto the body and not down here. This piece I left because I found a bunch of rust on the body, which I've cut away, so I had a hole, and now this allows me to patch it. And otherwise, that's about it. The rest is just fit on top of the OEM panel with no modification at all. So yeah, that's about it for this panel. I'm gonna remove the Clico, remove the panel, and show you guys what the body looks like exactly. So there it is, there's the body, and don't mind the rust, this is gonna get fixed. But what I've done on this side basically is I made some relief cuts all along the curves here so that I could fold this panel down a little bit to allow my fiberglass panel to go over it without gaining any height. So basically I cut this, and this, and then I folded the panel down so it's pretty flimsy once you cut it, so I was super careful not to bend any of the rest. I just wanted to bend this section here, and it worked out pretty good. The bottom may still need a little bit of work, but as I said, I'm waiting for the side skirt. So for the rest, the wheel well was obviously cut. This is not the final cut. I'm gonna cut a bunch more later on. And over here, there's a gap, of course, which I'm not sure if I'm gonna cut some more here and then do another plate to join this, or just basically weld these two together. That's not decided yet. And this is the hole that my fiberglass panel covers. And in the back here, I left this whole section so that I could glue the other panel on there. And I've made a big cut here so that I could fold the bottom panel a little bit up to take off some of the extra width when I'm gluing the other panel under, so that it would look a little bit better. But yeah, that's about it. So that's the current state of the panel, and it's gonna need a lot more work. We need to remove the excess metal, make sure everything fits perfectly, remove the rust, and weld the new wheel wells. But for now, this is good enough. We have the final location of the panel, which means that we can fit the rest of the panels, aka the doors. But it's getting kind of late, so that's gonna be in the next episode. But I hope you like seeing the process. I hope you can benefit from it. And I would love to see if anyone else is using my videos to do the same thing. And if you have any comments or any feedback, please do write. I really enjoy those. And that's one of the main reasons why I do this. So yeah, don't hesitate. And if you liked it, please give it a like, subscribe to see the rest of the build, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.